The Ultimate Husband. By Sky Kissing Wolf.
Episode 86. However, Daryl is an outlier. Indeed, Daryl is an exception. He actually possesses such a thing as the godly pill and managed to become level 2 master in such a short time. At that thought, Megan softened her tone. So what would it take to get that godly pill? Even in her uniform, Megan looks stunning. Daryl chuckled. All right, how about you say something nice about me? Compliment me, but it has to be sincere. If it pleases me, I'll give you the godly pill. Megan shuddered. This is extremely inappropriate. It is not in her character to bow down to please others. She slowed down her car, biting her lip in deep thought. After a while, she gave in. Daryl, you're the most charming man I've ever met. Please, could you give me another godly pill? Daryl laughed. He had to admit, to have a strong, beautiful woman like Megan kowtow to him, any man would not be able to resist her requests, even him. All right, I'll give you one. Daryl agreed pleasingly. He handed a pill to Megan. Thank you. Megan accepted the pill. Unable to hide her joy, she quickly picked up her phone and dialed a number. Hey, I've got the pill that you wanted. Do you want to come to get it now? The call muttered something inaudible. Megan nodded, then hung up the call. Daryl, I have a friend who's currently at Oriental Pearl. Shall we meet him? Let him thank you in person. Megan suggested. Sure. Daryl nodded. At the Oriental Pearl, Megan led Daryl to the private luxury dining room. Inside, there were a few couples, whom the men Daryl recognizes. They were all Donghai City's trust fund babies, who have participated in Linden Enterprises' annual gala. Though coming from a wealthy family, they idle their time away being a total dud. Upon seeing Megan, one of the guys stood up and grinned. Guys. Let me introduce my girlfriend, Megan. She's brought me a godly pill, now I can rise to the level of Master General. What? Daryl was stunned. Bloody hell. Megan wanted the pill for this son of a gun. He's her boyfriend. Damn. Kent Hoff, heir apparent to Everlasting Group. Their family is rich, but he is one stubborn bastard. Megan is an absolute goddess, why is she with him? Kent tried to hold Megan's hand, but she brushed him off gently. Kent, there are so many people around. Let's not do this here. Kent snickered and turned to the crowd. Brothers, look at my girlfriend. She usually only lets me hold her hand, I can't even kiss her. She said only to give herself to me when we get married. Don't tease me y'all, ha ha ha. Yo, bro, sis-in-law is a gem, said one. The others started to chime in. Sis-in-law is gorgeous and demure. Kent, you really hit the jackpot. The atmosphere in the box was rowdy as it can be. Suddenly somebody shouted, fuck me. Isn't that Linden Residence's live-in son-in-law? Like a ripple effect, everyone glanced towards Daryl. Why is this trash here? Yeah. How dare he enter a place like this? Those buck of rich brats spoke up after one another. Kent frowned. LT really is him. Dude, you've come to the wrong place. Please fuck off, the Oriental Pearl is not a place for degenerates like you. It's true, this guy is living with his in-laws the Lindens. Close to bankruptcy, they sold a big half of their estate away. Indeed, Daryl could not afford the Oriental Pearl. Megan could not take it any longer, she interrupted. Kent, don't do this. Daryl is with me, he's my friend. What? This dude is Megan's friend? The people in the box were stunned. They must have misheard. They have heard previously that Megan is Donghai City's criminal investigation team leader. How could this worthless trash be her friend? One's a goddess, the other a total loser. Episode 87. Come, Daryl, sit here. Megan smiled. She pulled a chair next to her while ignoring the judgmental glares from the others. Daryl was about to leave, but he was touched by Megan's sincerity. He sat down calmly. Meg love, why are you friends with him? Kent came to his senses, he asked confusedly. Megan sighed gently. Kent, can you not judge a book by its cover? In my eyes, everyone is the same. So what if Daryl Darby is living within his in-laws? Does that mean I can't be friends with him? Explained Megan patiently. Kent was struck dumb. Megan shook her head and took the godly pill from her bag. Kent, weren't you stuck at level 5 master for some time now? This pill can help you. Daryl gave it to me. Whoa. They were astounded by Megan's remarks. A few of these bunch of rich brats are cultivators as well, though only beginners as they just started practicing cultivation. After all, their family is willing to spend the money to let them become cultivators. They all know as cultivators how arduous and challenging it is to break through to the next realm. Hearing how the godly pill can help, this piqued everyone's interest. However, according to Megan, the pill was from Daryl. Suddenly, everyone was more interested in Daryl than the pill. A live-in son-in-law could actually manage to get his hands on such a rare godly pill. If the pill were real, there definitely would be loads of people willing to spend a huge fortune on it. No one dared to mock Megan, so they scorned Daryl. Kent was also shocked. He has heard the wonders of the godly pill. However, upon hearing that it's from Daryl, he laughed mockingly. He took the pill from Megan, scrutinized it, and scoffed, "This lousy thing can help me. You've got to be kidding me." Kent's tone turned serious. He looked at Megan and said, "Meg love, your character has always been straightforward and unambiguous, but also gullible. My guess is that you've managed to rise to Master General, not because of this pill, but because you have a solid, deep, basic cultivation technique, hence you could break through. There's no such thing as a godly pill, if not everyone would have easily become a Master General." Kent then casually threw the pill on the table. "I'm serious. It was due to this pill that I managed to become Master General." Megan replied anxiously. Kent sneered, "This dude is definitely lying to you. You've been stuck on level 5 master for many years, and to finally have a breakthrough, it's all due to your hard work. It has nothing to do with this pill, that was only a happy accident." Kent gave Daryl an ice-cold glare, and said, "You toy boy, I don't know what your intentions are with Megan, but you stay the hell away from her, you clear? If not, I'll make your living in Donghai City hell. You heard that? Some people are not something you can afford to be with. Know your place. Don't try to con people with this stuff, and stay away from our sis-in-law. Bloody fuck. Stupid Kent Hoff, he doesn't even know how Megan begged me for it just now. If it weren't for Megan, I wouldn't even be here. People like Brandon would be willing to spend $2 billion, plus a jade thumb ring for this godly pill. I'm giving it to you for free. Not only are you not appreciative, you mock me still." Daryl thought. He stood up, laughed coldly and said, "Okay, if you think it's fake, then return it to me. Take it yourself. You expect me to hand it to you personally? You'll dirty my hands." Kent jeered, without even glancing at the godly pill on the table. As if on cue, there was a roar of laughter. Daryl was about to retrieve the pill when Megan snatched it, handed it to Kent, and said, "Kent Hoff, if you believe me, you will swallow this pill right this instant. If not, I'm leaving with Daryl." Megan tilted her head towards Daryl, with an awkward, apologetic expression. Everyone was baffled by Megan's reaction. What does this live-in son-in-law have on Megan that she trusts him so much? Kent was rather awkward, not knowing how to respond. However, seeing how exasperated Megan was, he surrendered. He had no choice but to swallow the godly pill. "For Megan's sake, I won't embarrass you further," Kent said with a weak smile. Finding topics to talk about, Kent asked, "I heard that recently you're looking for a job. What do you do? Perhaps us bros could help you out." "I'm working for someone," Daryl replied calmly. Episode 88. "Oh wow, working for someone. Ha ha ha." Kent nodded exaggeratedly. The waiter started serving. Due to Megan's outrage, Kent was less sharp-tongued. However, he still tried to find various topics to deliberately embarrass Daryl, with backup from the other rich brats as they chime in cooperatively. Megan could take it no longer. She excused herself to the washroom. The minute she left, Kent sprung into Daryl. "Dude, if I were you, I would get out of here as soon as possible. What good will come of you staying here? Do you even know what type of place this is? Oriental Pearl is the finest hotel in Donghai City. Who are you to eat here? The rest slammed the table in agreement. Their girlfriends smiled mockingly at Daryl. The others interjected, "Yeah, if it weren't for our sis-in-law, do you think we'd really be your friends? Fuck off, us letting you overstay your welcome in the dining room is already a huge courtesy to you. You unworthy live-in son-in-law, who do you think you are? You think you can afford this place?" Daryl remained calm, and laughed. "Kent Hoff, isn't it? Your reputation precedes you, you're exceptionally cheap." Kent slammed the table. "Motherfucker, I dare you to say it one more time." Daryl shrugged. "Just because your family has extra few pennies, thinking that eating at the Oriental Pearl will make you all high and mighty. If this isn't cheap, what are you?" Kent was speechless. The rest were equally startled as they started to look at Daryl with interest. This guy must be mentally unsound. How dare he talk to Kent that way? He must have been very repressed being the Lindens' live-in son-in-law that he needed to find someone to vent at. Although, he had unleashed on the wrong person. Taking it out on Kent. Was he trying to get himself killed? Kent gritted his teeth. Wow, this is something. A toy boy is looking down on us. Having said that, Kent gazed at Daryl provocatively. "Dude, don't tell me, you're the owner of the Oriental Pearl." "Oh no, I'm scared." A roar of laughter rang through. Daryl smiled lightly, picked up his phone, and dialed Wayne Woodall. "Mr. Darby." Wayne was surprised by the phone call. Daryl cut to the chase. "I'm at the Oriental Pearl, please come to dining room 666. At that, Daryl hung up. He sat down, poured himself a cup of tea, and drank it slowly. Kent continued with his taunts. "Dude, who did you call? Your wife? Or someone from the Linden family? Ha ha ha. A loser like him, if any problem arises, of course he'd call his wife, if not who? Ha ha ha." One after another, they jabbed at Daryl. Daryl silently enjoyed his tea, ignoring their taunts. Kent was extremely dissatisfied with Daryl's reaction to their jeers. He was about to continue when the door opened. A man in a black, Chinese tunic Zhongshan suit walked in. When Wayne Woodall appeared, the room instantly fell silent. A few rich brats straightened their backs. Wayne was a famous person in Donghai City. Why was he here? Everyone looked toward Kent, as they deemed him the most worthy to discuss business matters with Wayne. Kent snickered in amusement. 2 days ago, his dad mentioned that they wanted to talk to Wayne about a business case. The business must have to come through. The ladies, although they all have boyfriends, glanced at Wayne with admiration. Episode 89. Kent Hoff stood up straight, thinking he looked handsome. He said, "President Woodall, I'm glad to meet Y-." Kent froze. Wayne did not even look at him but walked straight toward Daryl. "Mr. Darby, you called, what can I help you with?" "What? Mr. Darby?" Wayne Woodall actually acknowledged this live-in son-in-law with an honorific. Everyone's jaw dropped, they were all bewildered. How is it possible that a loser like Daryl would be of acquaintance with a person like Wayne Woodall? Just when everyone is still recoiling from shock, Daryl smiled gently, nodded towards Wayne. "Nothing special, just wanted to see you," said Daryl. At that, Wayne waved towards the waiter. "Tell your manager to waive all expenses in this box." "What? All free?" Kent and the rest were shocked to their core. Looking at Daryl complicated their feelings even more. How does this dude have such huge respect from Wayne Woodall? Just when the waiter was about to head out, Daryl stood up and waved his hand. "Don't bother. Today's expenses should be calculated down to every cent. I'm not the one treating, plus I barely ate anything. Furthermore, the people paying are not short of cash." Wayne responded by signaling the waiter to leave. "Okay, that's all. I should leave too. You go get busy." Daryl dismissed Wayne with a wave. Wayne's appearance had a great effect on the rest. Wayne seemed to have grasped the situation and quickly added, "In the future, if Mr. Darby has any request, feel free to let me know. I will help in any way I can." At that, Wayne glanced at his surroundings. Seeing that no one dared to look him in the eye, he turned around and left. Wayne's presence was too strong. The moment he left the room, the atmosphere was much more relaxed. Darryl laughed mildly and left. Kent and the rest looked at each other. They could not calm down for a very long time. About half an hour later, they each came to their senses. Though still slightly in awe, one of them said, "Fuck, this dude is actually well acquainted with Wayne Woodall." Well acquainted? It's definitely more than that. Did you see how Wayne Woodall treated Darryl? They have a special relationship. It's strange, isn't this guy a live-in son-in-law? They started to discuss among themselves. The ladies were remorseful. Who would have thought that this live-in son-in-law has such strong connections? If they knew earlier, they would not have taunted him. The white-faced Kent started to calm down. Upon hearing their discussion, he sneered with disdain. What special relationship? You guys know nothing. I'll have you know that Wayne Woodall has business with the Lindens. The last I heard, when it was Grandma Linden's birthday, Wayne personally sent a gift himself. So, Wayne being polite to that dude is all because of his connections with Grandma Linden. If he weren't Linden's son-in-law, Wayne would never bat an eye at him, snorted Kent. At that, the rest thought it all made sense. Kent's expression, however, darkened. You're good, Darryl Darby. I was almost unnerved by you. Using your connections with the Lindens to boost your status, how shameless, thought Kent. Darryl was in the lobby when he bumped into Megan, who just exited the ashroom. She changed her set of clothes. Wearing dark blue skinny jeans, that curvaceous, sexy figure is enough to conquer any man. Darryl, what happened? Are you leaving? Asked Megan as she towards him. Episode 90. Darryl laughed lightly. It's fine, I had nothing to do there anyway, plus I wasn't hungry. Megan was apologetic. I'm so sorry. Kent and the others, they are just like that. Please don't mind them. Darryl shrugged, it's fine, I've met many of his types. He glanced at Megan and hesitated. But, do you think you and Kent Hoff are a match? It was none of his business. Darryl should not have brought it up, but he does not know what overcame him. Megan did not reply, but she seemed stiff and awkward. The truth is, Megan does not dislike Kent, but she has no feelings for him either. It is mainly due to the fact that they both have similar family social standings. They have known each other for a long time, and on top of that, both of their families heavily approved of them being together. Hence why she reluctantly agreed to be with Kent. However, she has a clear stance: no sex before marriage, hold hands at most. Megan pivoted to another topic, and said, hey, let's go back. After all, I'm the one who brought you here, I can't expect you to grab a cab back all by yourself. Darryl nodded. As they exited the hotel, Kent chased up to them and called out, Meg. Why are you still with him? Kent was annoyed. He glanced at Darryl disrespectfully. Megan replied, Kent, I've told you many times. Darryl is my friend. How could you treat him that way in the dining room just now? Seeing how Megan kept defending Darryl, Kent was furious. Did I say anything wrong? Isn't he the Lindens' live-in son-in-law? He has been living with Lindens for 3 years now, a worthless good-for-nothing. The entire Donghai city knows about this. I'm just telling it like it is. Megan ignored him and continued walking. Conscious of how Megan disregarded him, Kent was anxious. He asked exasperatedly, where are you going? Megan replied angrily, to send Darryl back. I'm the one who brought him here, I'm not going to leave him here all by himself. At first, Kent was fuming, but then he noticed Megan's figure. All of a sudden his anger dissipated. How could he get angry at such a gorgeous woman, who also happens to be his girlfriend? How about, you wait for me in the dining room? I'll fetch Darryl back. There's a party tonight, let's go together then, offered Kent, trying to soothe the situation. Not interested. Megan was resolute. Darryl sighed. He was contemplating whether to just hail a taxi when out of a sudden a black luxury minivan stopped right in front of the trio. A few burly men got down from the vehicle. Darryl tensed. The leader, with deep eyes, doesn't appear too old, yet seemed mature for his age. Hello, are you Miss Megan Costello? He asked politely and took a step forward. Darryl let his guard down. After all, they recognize Megan. He does not think that they are looking for trouble. Furthermore, Megan is the criminal investigation team leader of Donghai City. Who dares to touch her? Boy, was he wrong. Megan nodded. At that precise moment, those men cast a handful of light-colored powder. It enveloped the three of them like fog. They were completely caught off guard. Inhaling the powder made them dizzy, and their body went limp. What the fuck is happening? Is this a kidnap? Daryl was stunned. He could barely react when all three of them were shoved into the minivan. The minivan sped off. It was total darkness in the vehicle. They have no idea where they are being brought to. Kent was flustered. Who the hell are you guys? What do you want with us? Don't you know who am? Slap. One of the men slapped Kent so hard, 2 teeth flew out from his mouth. Shut up or I'll kill you, threatened one of the men. Kent shuddered. He dare not make any more noise.
For more episode, don't forget to subscribe.